What is going on, everybody? Derp Furtler here. Good to see you. Welcome to another YouTube video. Today, we're going to talk about Rocksmith Plus. This is our review of it. I'm going to talk about as many things as I remember to talk about. I've made a list in my phone of stuff to talk about, so we're going to do it. If there's anything you're wondering about after this is all said and done, let me know in the comments down below, and I can either answer your question in the comments, or we can kind of do maybe some follow-up videos if I forget to dive too deep into anything. So anyway, without further ado, Rocksmith Plus review. Let's do it. So first of all, I suppose I could introduce what Rocksmith Plus is. We can talk about it a little bit. Rocksmith Plus is the newest Rocksmith game in the Rocksmith series. There was first Rocksmith back in 2011, and then Rocksmith 2014 came out a couple years later, and that has been the newest Rocksmith game we've had up until 11 days ago when Rocksmith Plus came out. Rocksmith Plus is a subscription-based service. It's very similar to services like Musician, or I think Fender Play is that other one too, where it's like more of a guitar learning software rather than how Rocksmith won in 2014 where they were more like video gamey. But it still carries that same type of note highway where it's like Guitar Hero style notes coming towards you as you play along on your guitar or your bass. And obviously you're meant to learn how to play guitar and bass with Rocksmith. I learned how to play with the game, so I'll always, you know, be really appreciative that it exists and all that stuff, right? Like I said, it's subscription based. It already comes with thousands upon thousands of songs in your library, and the song model is handled a little differently compared to the previous games. Rocksmith 1 and 2014 had more of a like old school Guitar Hero and Rock Band style song library, where it was like the game comes with, let's say, like 40 to 60 songs, just a really condensed set list of some really good stuff to learn and or to play. And then on a weekly basis after release, they would release DLC packs of songs, or just, you know, some select music for people to download and buy with a little extra money. Like a song pack would be like, I think $7.99 for a 3-pack, $11.99 for a 5-pack, if I remember correctly. And yeah, songs would usually be in 3 to 5 packs, or 3 to 5 song packs, and they'd usually be from some pretty popular artists, the most popular songs from said artists. And like I said, it was like Guitar Hero and Rock Band style DLC offerings, where every week there'd be, hey, we have this artist or this theme this week, you know, buy these DLC songs if you want. Whereas Rocksmith Plus is completely not doing that at all. They're wiping the slate clean. Your 2014 and Rocksmith 1 DLC songs do not carry forward. The on-disc songs for both those games do not carry forward. It is a brand new, just completely new, different, starting over kind of thing. Does that make sense? Whereas the way this game works is that you subscribe to it. It's a subscription-based game, and if you're going to want to subscribe to it, it's going to cost $14.99 for a month, $39.99 for 3 months, and $99.99 for a year if you want to sub for a whole year. So that is how they're doing it. It's a different approach, because before it would be, oh, buy this whatever $60 game and get these songs with it, and then as DLC comes out you can buy more songs that way too, right? Whereas with this game, it's just subscribe for however long you want to play, or if you want to keep resubscribing however often, and you just get access to these thousands upon thousands of songs with your subscription. And that's going to vary from person to person, I think, on if you get value out of that, or if you consider that to be a good value. I'll talk more about that later, what I think. But yeah, that's how Rocksmith Plus works. It's completely different from Rocksmith 1 in 2014 in that regard. It's a subscription service, and yeah, that's how it works. So let's talk about the audio. So we're opening up Rocksmith Plus right now. You'll be able to see how quickly it opens up too compared to 2014. It just kind of does this little loading screen here, and really quickly it starts up. Just like that. You're ready to play. So we're going to talk about the audio first, right? I don't know how well this will be, like, you know, able to be noticed if I were to do like a side-by-side comparison with like how tones sound in Rocksmith 2014 versus Rocksmith Plus. But believe me when I say that when you like play the game, like through your own headphones and all that stuff and your own guitar, it sounds really, really nice, basically is what I'm trying to say. We can go over all the different tones too. This game sounds really good. I like the vibe of the menus as well. And as you like roll over stuff, you get little clicky noises and whatnot. But anyway, we're gonna look at the tones really quick and talk about the audio of the game. It sounds a lot better than 2014 did. At the moment, we don't have Tone Designer. It says right now that the tones are in beta, so I'm assuming that means Tone Designer will be here down the road. But there's a bunch of different preset tones here that you can just have on for your guitar. I picked UK Lux Boosted Lead because I think it sounds pretty good. But you can pick that. You can kind of go through different ones here. That has a cool echo to it. There was another cool echoey one, Wrecked Shred. I love the title of that, or the name of it. You get the idea. And there's clean tones too. Like, that's just what it is right now, right? You get the idea. What's Wrecked Lo-Fi Drive? What's that? I kind of like that one. I might stick with that one. That one sounds kind of cool. Just as a general thing. There's also silly ones like this wah. So yeah, those are the tones. Like I said, there's just a little selection of them here. There's a lot of different varieties, as you can see. But you can't really get too down and dirty with it, like with Rocksmith 2014. But it says beta. I'm just gonna have faith that it's coming down the road. That's gonna be a recurring theme here. Having faith that things will get better over time, which they will, you know. But yeah, that's the audio. The tones sound better is basically all I'm trying to say. All right, next let's talk about the song library. So when you log into Rocksmith Plus, you're greeted at the home screen here, right? And there's some featured stuff. You can watch some like instructional videos, learn music theory behind Opeth's window pane, for instance. This is one thing that I'm really excited for, because the previous two Rocksmith games taught you very little, and in fact I would even say nothing at all about music theory. The main point of it was just, hey, play these songs, learn them, riff repeat them, get better at them, play the mini games, and get good at these techniques and all this stuff. But they never really went into music theory and like, why does this song sound good? Why do these notes sound good together? You know, like that really nitty gritty nerdy stuff about music. Like, I'm excited to learn with this game. Like, I actually want to watch this for a second.
Hey, it's Marge. Opeth started as a death metal band in 1989, but has continually expanded its sound by incorporating new influences. Windowpane is a great example. The frequent shifts in meter and use of complex chords give this song a bit of a jazz fusion feel. One rhythmic device Opeth uses in this song is a hemiola. That's when a bar that would normally have only 2 beats is instead split into 3 even beats in the same amount of time. The result is a shifting, almost lurching beat that propels the song. Let's check out how Opeth uses a hemiola in the first riff of Windowpane. The hemiola rhythm in this riff alternates between 2 groups of 3 beats and 3 groups of 2 beats. The alternation gives the riff a syncopated feel, with accents on specific notes.
Oh, she's got a capo on. I was going to play along.
You can really hear the hemiola feel by clapping only the accented notes, like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. America from Leonard Bernstein's musical West Side Story is one of the most well-known examples of a hemiola, but you'll also hear them in Latin, West African, and European classical music. Given Opeth's eclectic approach to
I can't finger
songwriting,
pick.
it's not
Saved my
too
life.
surprising to find one here too. Listen for that hemiola when you play Window Pane in Rocksmith Plus, and have fun practicing. I'll see you next time.
See, I would have never known what a hemiola is, or ever heard of that if it wasn't for that little video. So, like, there's little things like that to look at here, too. And there's, like, if you're a beginner, your first guitar notes lesson. This is just featured stuff. You can get to know Marge, who just taught us about Window Pane there. And, yeah, so that's the featured tab. You can save songs you like and have them in a list to come back to, which is really cool. There's recently played, which is nice if you want to come back to something you just played. But anyway, actually, you know what? Let's just go through. Let's just go through the thing here. You can also look at your song progress overall, which is kind of cool. Most played in the last 30 days. Here's just songs that I've improved at the most, I believe, or my most played stuff. This doesn't seem right because I've only played Window Pane like once. The same with Saga Begins and all this stuff. I think it needs to... It says it updates every 24 hours. Well, I disagree. This needs, you can see why it's in beta. But then there's your skill profile as well, which this is really cool. So as of this recording, I've been playing Rocksmith Plus for like a good, I don't even know, like it came out 11 days ago, and I played it a lot the first week it came out. So like I have a decent like description of my overall skill sets of each different type of guitar technique, right? So there's double stops, open chords, power chords, and so on and so forth. And it says, and this, I'm assuming this is your skill set on a scale of 1 to 100. So like I'm 70 for double stops, 53 for open chords, 84 for power chords, because power chords are pretty simple, stuff like that. So, and then obviously as you play more, you'll get more experience with each thing, and it'll fill out even more. You can also click on each skill set here, and it explains what it is. You can watch little videos about it. Like it's really, really, really in depth for, it's really, really, really in depth for learning stuff, and really getting down into the nitty gritty of each type of guitar technique, right? I honestly really, really commend them for that, because like I said, Rocksmith 2014 had lessons in it for sure, but you know, nothing as detailed as this, right? Like you can just, I don't know how to vibrato. Let me watch this quick little video, right?
Vibrato on an instrument is when you vibrate a note while holding it.
Yep. So yeah, you can do that for each thing, which is really, really cool. You can look at Ubisoft Connect, which doesn't show on this OBS scene. Hold on. It's kind of this overlay thing through Ubisoft. You can look at your rewards for stuff you've done, and all kinds of cool stuff like that. Ubisoft logo soundscape. Let's get it. Let's get it. And you can add those into your soundscapes right here. Or I thought you could. Where is it? It's somewhere. Oh, it's this. Ubisoft, right? Yeah. So this is what you see like in the background of the game while you're playing a song. So that's cool. And it also walks you through like what each menu does and all that stuff. We're going to talk about it ourselves here, but that's what they do there. There's the play tab, which will show you a lot more just random songs to try out. I'm not a big fan of this type of thing. I like to use the search. All right. And what this is, you can either search by genre. There's like every type of genre you can think of on here. You can go by difficulty. If you just want like easier songs, you can just hit basic, and here's all the easier songs to pick from. So that's kind of nice for people. And capo or no capo, if you want to make sure that the song you want to play does not have a capo, or if it does, you know, whatever you prefer. Also, I believe if you just search or wait, I thought that was the thing. Never mind. So you can click rock or whatever genre you want. Let's say you want to look at everything at once. You'll filter it, put genre to all, and you can instantly see the entire list of songs in Rocksmith Plus. And this is kind of an intimidating list to look at because there's over 7,000 here to look at, but here we can switch back to the other scene. My bad. Aaron Carter's on here. Jump on the table is what I said. Okay, we won't play that too long. So yeah, this is everything that Rocksmith Plus currently has to offer. They're aiming to have millions of songs in here down the road. Right now there's already 7,000 within the first 2 weeks of it existing, so that's pretty crazy. But I've heard a lot of people complain online about, like, it doesn't have the same, like, mainstream music that Rocksmith 1 in 2014 had. It has a lot of, like, deeper cuts from artists, a lot of, like, B-sides, live versions of songs, covers of songs by other artists. It's just really, I don't want to say it feels like scraping the bottom of the barrel right now, but it skews more towards the obscure side of things. But that doesn't mean that there aren't, like, big mainstream songs in this game. Like, we can look at the top worldwide songs right now. More Than a Feeling by Boston, Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers, the SpongeBob SquarePants theme, because why not? Alice Cooper, Van Morrison, Eurythmics, Mountain, Joan Jett, you know, Jefferson Airplane, B.B. King, 311, The Clash, Alicia Keys, Flock of Seagulls, Fuel, Weird Al, Goldfinger. You know, there's some bigger artists in here for sure. And the #1 most played song is More Than a Feeling. That's kind of cool. It's a good song. Right now it looks a little on the side of, like, they're going all over the place with it, right? And that's what they want to do. They eventually want this to be like a Spotify-sized library, which is pretty ambitious to say the least, but that is what they're after. So, and if you like a song, like, I know I like I'm in the Band, or wait, it's not showing. Let me move the game really quick while I show you what I'm doing. So, like, I enjoyed the song I'm in the Band by the Helicopters. You can just click that up there and it gets added to your saved songs, which is pretty nice. So yeah, the song library is a bit interesting at the moment. Again, with keeping the theme of having faith that this game will, you know, get the list filled out more over time. I'm sure it will. Just got to give it time. And if you don't want to subscribe right now because you don't want to play what they currently offer, that's totally valid, right? Like, I totally get where people are coming from when they say, like, oh, they don't have this band, or this artist that I want to play on guitar. Like, I get it. All we can do is hope that they eventually add all these bigger artists that will bring more people in to subscribe, and then more people will subscribe, and the game will succeed more, and we'll get more music added as a result, and it'll just snowball like that. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, that's kind of what the song library is looking like. So in the learning aspect of the game, we kind of talked about we can look at the Learn tab here for this. We kind of talked about, like, how you can look at music theory for songs, and, like, different little lessons here are featured or, like, recommended for you, right? But if you want to specifically just look at lessons and stuff, there's all these separate places too. There's exercises, which is really fun if you want to go through each type of, like, guitar learning technique. Linear playing, string switching, string skipping, hammer-ons, pull-offs. That's all they have at the moment. There's easy, intermediate, and advanced versions of all of these lessons. The tuner is a lot better too. That's another thing we can talk about. The tuner in Rocksmith 2014 was a little too loosey-goosey a lot of the time. This tuner is very, very accurate though. See how I'm off by just a tiny bit? And it wants me to tune up. In 2014, it would have been like, yeah, that's fine. Same with this one, it's just off by a little bit. And you gotta do that little bit of twisting. So that's interesting. And a welcome improvement, I think. So here it just drops you in, and from here you can pick as well, if you want to slow the song down, if you want to turn on the note by note, which we will talk about soon as well. Very, very cool feature. I'm just gonna hit play really quick. I picked the advanced hammer-on exercise, number 2. You get the idea. It's very similar to those practice DLC songs or exercise DLC songs they released towards the end of Rocksmith 2014's life cycle. I played 8% of it. Let's go. So there's exercises for every skill set for all of these different techniques to play on the guitar and stuff like that. And this is all covered on bass as well. I'm talking about guitar today though. If you guys want to learn more about bass specific stuff, you can let me know and do a separate video on that maybe. But yeah, this is really fun too. You can look at different genre styles. Like I played through all these on stream once, but the lead ones I should say. But right now you can play classic rock lead, Texas blues, pop punk, indie folk, and these are all really fun little like, you know, generic genre songs to play. And again, this is gonna get bigger over time too. There's gonna be more stuff to look at. Right now it's pretty basic with what it offers, but it's gonna get bigger over time. Ooh, let's talk about the Riff Repeater. All right, we're gonna talk about the Riff Repeater. I want to pull up a song. Let's just pull up More Than a Feeling. All right, let's just pull up More Than a Feeling. So I don't think this is a thing anymore in Plus. Oh, maybe it is. Well, in 2014, when you hit the spacebar, it would take you right to Riff Repeater. But here I just pushed spacebar and it brought up the pause menu. You can just click over to Riff Repeater, I guess. But from here you can pick... Oh, whoops. From here you can pick different sections of the song. I want to look at the solo of More Than a Feeling, which I think is right here. You can kind of click and drag, which is nice. One thing I wish they added was being able to like just practice like a specific place in the song that you set, right? And not these pre-selected little boxes, but it is what it is. Maybe they'll update it with that down the road. But from here, we're gonna look at the Riff Repeater here. Just like 2014, you can mess with the song speed. One different thing here is that you can only go down to 25% speed on the Riff Repeater, which in Rocksmith 2014 you could go down to 1%. But then again, 25% is still pretty slow. I mean, I get it. You can turn level up, off or on. I have the game set for to just be at max difficulty all the time, so this doesn't matter to me. Speed up you can turn off or on. Miss tolerance you can turn off and on. I have it on note by note, which I don't know why that's automatically off all the time. But anyway, with note by note, I love note by note because it allows you to practice a song without the song continuing on if you miss a note. Like it pauses at a note until you play it, and then it moves on to the next note and it pauses till you play it. So like, let's say you're trying to learn a solo from scratch or like a really tough riff from scratch, you know, to start out, I would recommend doing note by note, right? So like, here we are. You know, like that. Which is really, really, really helpful if you're new to the song. I went through it quickly there because I know how to play the solo, but you get the idea. And then I also have this setting on right here, which I really like, which is called MIDI playback. And this is really helpful, A, because I'm doing a YouTube video and I don't want the actual song to play. And B, so the point of it is to just play the MIDI audio of the note you're supposed to play. So like, let's turn off note by note and just play it with the MIDI playback on, right? All you'll hear is the notes you're supposed to play. So there you go. That's what that does. Going forward, when I practice a song, I'm just going to have MIDI playback on just so I can like listen to it and get an idea of what I'm supposed to be playing. Because in 2014 and Rocksmith 1, you just had to kind of like follow along with the notes that you see and hope that you eventually figure it out, right? Whereas like if you have that reference of, oh, it's supposed to sound like this, and then combine that with if you need note by note or if you want to slow it down all the way or whatever speed you need to have it at, you know, you can do that too. It also offers practice suggestions when you finish a song, which is really cool. Alright, so I just played through More Than a Feeling, like the full song, just so you could see what it looks like at the end, alright? I did it for you. I think if I need to demonstrate anything else, then I'll play like the SpongeBob song or something, because it's really short. I thought of that during my playthrough of this, but that's alright.
New best accuracy.
Shout out to Rocksmith Mom. Let me say something about Rocksmith Mom really quick, alright? In the beta, she was so supportive and nice and wonderful. And now, she barely even cares that you exist. She's always like, let's see how you did. Song complete. You really did it. You know what I mean? So, when you finish a song, this is what happens. Let me move some stuff. So, it shows you your accuracy, your mastery, and all that fun stuff. Longest streak, all that kind of cool statistics. You can either play it again, you can look at your skill review, which tells you right here how you did on each type of guitar, technique. So I hit all the fret hand mutes, hammer-ons, and see again, you can click it, and it just shows you what it is. How amazing is that for beginners? You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. Chords, here's all the different chords that it had me play. I hit all of them correctly, which is cool. This must just be like non-power chords, because obviously More Than a Feeling has power chords galore in it, but that's how they do that. So there's the skill review, and then there's practice right here, which after you finish a song, let me shrink myself. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shrink myself. Whoa, little derp. It tells you like, hey, only a few misses on this part, and then it recommends you to play 3 reps at 80% accuracy. And then it just has you play it. It just has you play it. Like, I missed this part a lot because it was stupid harmonics, and those are hard to make them play correctly. But anyways, it just launches you right into Riff Repeater, and you do the things that it suggests you do. And I gotta say, because I was practicing Crystal Mountain by Death is on here, a live version, and I did the 3 things that it had me do, and I did do a little better the second time, and I felt like it was in part due to the sections that it had me practice, and like do the certain reps at certain speeds and build your way up and stuff like that. It really is helpful. So yeah, that's the Riff Repeater. I love the note by note. I love the MIDI playback. It's going to come in handy. It's going to come in handy practicing songs going forward, I feel. So shout out to Ubisoft for that. That was a really, really good addition to the game. Very, very cool. And I feel like I'm getting better at guitar playing this game too. I've been playing for 10 years with Rocksmith only. I've learned just by playing Rocksmith a lot. I've never taken lessons or anything. I've just learned guitar from playing Rocksmith. I like to stress that when we're talking here, because it's true. All right, up next we're going to talk about the note highway and the in-song gameplay. Okay, I'm gonna fire up SpongeBob first. Okay, I'm gonna fire up SpongeBob first. We're gonna play the lead chart. It's really, really short. I can show you I can show you what I mean about the single notes. The single notes look fine. I still think Rocksmith 2014's note highway looks a little better. If they can tweak this game in the future to look more like that, that would be cool. This looks like a bit of a step back. I don't know if they're going for the more simplistic style and stuff like that, but I don't know. For what it is, it's fine. Like, it's not like the notes are unreadable or anything, but, they look how they look.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
So as you can see there, the notes look pretty... They're okay to follow, the single notes, I think, right? When we get to chords, though, chords are a little different.
Your accuracy is getting better. Keep it up, and the mastery gains will follow.
Thank you, Rocksmith Mom. So let's play a song with some chords. I think I might just pull up the More Than a Feeling chorus. More than a feeling when I hear that old song they used to play. And again, you can kind of see it. Like, they still light up when you hit a chord. They still light up just fine. But, like, I don't know. It doesn't look as, like... There's less feedback to know, like, if you hit the note or not. Like, I wish it exploded a lot more, like it did on, like, 2014 and Rocksmith 1. Like, if exaggerate that animation a little more so it looks like the older games, that would be nice. And then again with like right here. Did you see those fret hand mutes, the X's? Those X's are on the side of the note now, which is weird. Like, it's not a huge difference, but I don't know why they would change that. You know what I mean? Like, it looked fine before, but I'm just one guy who thinks what he thinks. And it's the same with all muted notes as well. Like those types of things. The marker for what you're supposed to hit is on the side of the note, and the chord boxes all look the same regardless, which, meh. It is what it is. My least favorite thing is how arpeggios look now. Arpeggios in Rocksmith 1 in 2014 looked fine. It showed the chord shape, the basic chord shape, and then it showed the individual notes inside, and they were still like those colored blocks of each note, right? Whereas on here, they look a little different. They all look like open notes. You can kind of see in the back here. They all look like open notes, open strings, but there's little dots to show you where your fingers are supposed to be. So, like, I think I understand why they did it that way. So it, like, encourages you to... Because I've done it in the past where, like, if there's a crazy arpeggio, I'll just, like... And I'll just, like, play individual notes. And maybe it's to get you out of that habit and to just be ready to make a chord. But it looks weird. It's really, really hard to sight read. You get the idea. They're kind of hard to read, in my opinion. I might get used to it over time, but that's just my initial thoughts on that. New rewards, nice. We can kind of talk about this too. Each and every single song in the Rocksmith Plus library automatically comes with an AI-generated chord chart. And what that means is that there's AI technology. It's called Archie, A-R-C-H-I. Just any song you want, SpongeBob, again, for instance. There's a chord chart, which means it's AI generated, and it's just if you're a new beginner or if you want to improvise over a song or something, it just has you play along to the basic chords of a song.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Like a fish.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Ready? SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Those chords at the end were kind of tough. But anyway, it's AI generated, and each song has at least that in it. Because not every single one of these songs has
Don't
like
sweat the
a...
numbers just yet. The first one's always the hardest.
See, she's not encouraging at all. Don't sweat it. I know you suck, but don't sweat it, all right? Anyway, not every single one of the 7,000 songs in the game has a lead rhythm bass chart already. Because they're licensing so much music at once, right? So they did this so that each song would at least have a chart like that to play along to, right? Because it would be bad if they had a song in there and there was nothing to play it with. Like, what would be the point of it being in there, right? So each song has at least a chord chart like that. And there's a similar type of thing on bass. If you play bass, there's I don't think it's called a chord chart on bass, but it just has you play the root notes on the bass. It's basically the same thing. Basically the same thing. Sorry. So there's that. The problem I have with chord charts is that sometimes they're not super accurate to the song. And sometimes they're a little silly. Like what we just saw there with SpongeBob. The chord switches were kind of fast and hard to read and keep up with. As someone who's been playing guitar for over a decade, I shouldn't have problems playing SpongeBob on sight read. Beginners will have that to play along to if like the lead or rhythm arrangements are too hard for them. And honestly, if I were in charge, if I were in charge of Rocksmith, I would just keep suggesting people play the lead and rhythm arrangements, and just level them up over time, right? Because Rocksmith still does have dynamic difficulty. It's called adaptive difficulty now, but it's the same thing as the older games where it'll give you less notes to play along to, and then as you get better and progress and keep proving that you can hit the notes that it gives you, it'll start leveling you up slowly and giving you more notes to play until you're playing the song as it was recorded, right? That's how Rocksmith has always been. I've always loved that system. It's how I learned officially, originally. This game has that too. I don't know why they would do the chord charts. I think they just did the chord charts to have a chart for the songs that they don't get to quickly enough. I don't know. It is what it is. We've come across some really weird charts on the stream, chord charts for like some of the hip-hop songs on here are literally just 2 chords the whole time, back and forth. It's kind of not boring, but like it's just silly to play. It's just silly and repetitive. I don't know. Again, this game is brand new, so I'm sure things will get ironed out over time, and we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens, right? One last thing about, you know, the song library and charts and stuff is the Rocksmith Workshop. When you load into the song list, you can filter the songs to just be, so let's do all songs. You can either pick Ubisoft charts. Oh, chord charts count for that? They shouldn't. So let's do like lead Ubisoft charts. There you go. It's like 120 km by Allison has a Ubisoft created chart, right? But like not every song will. You know, I'm filtering it to just have lead Ubisoft charts, and there's only 932 out of the 7,700 total songs that are in the game right now, right? So you can filter it by community charts, which is cool. Load up this Insane Clown Posse song. And like El Guitar 97 made a chart within the game to play 12 by Insane Clown Posse. So like the community is going to be making music or making charts for this game as well, in addition to Ubisoft. The community and Ubisoft are going to be kind of working together, and that is through something called the Rocksmith Workshop. Now you'll click that to look at it, and it'll open up a separate window here. It comes with a demo to look at if you've never used it before, and it looks like really intense like music production tools. You can either look at this or you can look at the tab. Yeah, here it is. So like this is just the Rocksmith theme, the theme song. So what you do when you want to like add your own chart to a song is you'll want to go to the Rocksmith Workshop website. Good lord, this is slow. And then wait. You want to go to the Rocksmith Workshop website, which is creator portal? Yeah. You'll want to go here. And then you'll grab the song that you want to add a chart to. Then you'll download the file and open it within Rocksmith Workshop, and you'll just make your chart as you see fit. I think you can copy like Guitar Pro tabs maybe and paste it in, and then just make sure that it matches up with the music and stuff like that. Before a song gets approved, like a chart from the community gets approved for the game, it goes through like a verification process. So there's a lower chance of like a crappy chart getting through and like playing along to a really bad one, like in the Customs Forge community, right? So there is that as well. There's a bit of a verification process so that people don't just submit awful charts all the time, and it'll like cloud up the game with crappy charts. We don't want that, right? They're basically trying to make like a legal version of Customs Forge, right? Like I want to try this Father of Mine chart at some point. Kid Meatball. Father of Mine. Hopefully they add a lot of songs on a regular basis for the community to add charts to. Ubisoft is going to be adding charts all the time as well to songs that are already in here. So if you see a song, if you come across a song in Rocksmith Plus and it just has a chord chart and you're upset, I get it. But eventually, if Ubisoft doesn't get around to charting it properly, then a community member will. As of right now, it seems kind of iffy because, you know, when you look up the song library, let's say you filter everything. Let's look at everything at once. Right now, we have 7,764 songs available for Rocksmith Plus on guitar, right? Guitar and bass. I don't know why I said that. Let's say you just want to show songs that do not have just chord charts. Let's say you just want songs with a lead guitar path. That cuts it down to 985 songs out of 7,000. That's crazy. Is Rhythm similar? Rhythm's even lower with only 162. Which, oh my god. Like, I'm really hoping that Ubisoft quickly adds more charts to this, because man, it didn't launch with very much. A very small selection. compared to the rest. Like you're most likely to find a song with just a chord chart. Like I clicked the first song in the list here, just has a chord chart. Just 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 a chord chart. See, it's like most of these are just chord charts, which is crazy. Crazy. But the community has been adding charts to songs. It's just gonna take time, I guess. But I remember the first time on stream I looked at that and I was like, whoa, it's pretty empty in terms of like official charts. We'll see how things pan out as time goes on, right? We shall see, we shall see. And not every official chart's perfect either, because I played a Rick Springfield song. What was it? What was it? It was Love Something. I think it was Love Somebody. Yeah, I played Love Somebody by Rick Springfield and half the song was out of sync. The lead chart was. It was crazy. Hopefully that gets patched in soon. Patched up. So I suppose without further ado, we can kind of talk about what the game's going to look like going forward to the best of our predictions. So let's go over to the Customize tab again. And I didn't really talk about these. You can customize how your instrument looks here. I use Ibanez guitars and basses, so I have my guitar look like Ibanez, but you can go in here and edit and have it set to different things. The Ibanez options aren't very many, but as you can see, you can customize your guitar to look however you want. Any fretboard, inlay, tuners, headstock, stuff like that. I keep it on Ibanez because I'm an Ibanez player, and I kind of like seeing that in the game too, right? Soundscapes I showed you earlier, this is what the background does in game when you're playing a song. They got rid of the crowd animation from the first two games, which is it's whatever, it's not a big deal. They have a million different nameplates to choose from here. I've been sticking with this one, the Ubisonic one. I think it looks nice. There's also this old school Rocksmith 2014 one, String Skip Saloon. It's kind of cool. But yeah, these all look pretty nice actually. I wouldn't mind switching to this one either. Let's do that. Wait, it didn't work. I just forget, you gotta click equip. You can't just click on the thing. Tones we looked at. Here's what I want to show you, alright? Rocksmith has a battle pass. It's not a battle pass. I mean, it looks like one, right? It's the same kind of like layout, like get XP and unlock all these things. So you can unlock different cosmetic things for your guitar, different nameplates and stuff like that. And as you can see, it's a 4-week season here. Right now, as of recording this, we're in week 3. There's 12 days and 2 hours left for this Around the World season. So my own personal thoughts are, I think after every 4 weeks of a season, the game will like update and like add more songs and more arrangements and all this. That's what I hope and assume. I hope it's not just willy-nilly random, like, oh, there's new songs now, no announcement, that's cool. I hope it's organized like this. That would be very satisfying to me. But that's just, I'm just assuming right now, right? So we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. I just unlocked these 2 things right now from playing More Than a Feeling and SpongeBob a few times. But we got these other things to unlock too, and then week 4. So in a couple weeks, we'll see if the game gets like a big content update with like new songs and stuff like that. It's too early to say at the moment because the game just came out. But we'll see if that's how they do that. We'll see. And I also... Here's the kicker too, as we wrap things up here. I put up a video of this last weekend when they did their Ubisoft Forward event. Ubisoft did for the year. And they talked about Rocksmith Plus for literally like a minute. Like 2 minutes, where every other game got like 5-10 minutes talked about. Yeah, I can link you to that video in like in the description or something, but it was pretty crazy how quickly they didn't bother talking about the game very much. They mentioned new songs coming out monthly, which lines up with my idea of them adding more songs when the Battle Pass updates. I call it a Battle Pass, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the game goes from here. I don't know what to think of it at the moment. They also got rid of I don't want to say got rid of, but at the moment there is no session mode, there's no guitarcade, there's no score attack, there's no non-stop play, there's no tone designer. Even though tone designer is probably coming, it says the tones are in beta, but those other 4 things I said are not in the game right now. Hopefully down the road they update it to add those fan favorite modes. I wouldn't mind seeing them back, and I know a lot of people, like especially non-stop play. I really wish Rocksmith Plus had some kind of shuffle or random song button or non-stop play, which was like play all these songs on shuffle, right? I really would wish they would add that back, because as huge as the song library is, you know, it's a bit intimidating to pick a song all the time yourself, and like, you know, you feel like you're missing out on maybe something good that's hiding in the library that you wouldn't even think to click on or play ever, unless it was just kind of thrown at you in like a shuffle kind of fashion. So I would love to have something like that back in Rocksmith Plus. Hopefully they do that. But I don't really know what else to talk about, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this kind of overview / review of Rocksmith Plus, just fresh off my mind, as I've been streaming it on Twitch for a little bit now. And these are just my initial thoughts, I guess. Maybe down the road I'll talk about it a little more. We can go over the maybe monthly updates as they've come to be, more song releases and stuff like that. We can see how things go from here. But let me know what you think about Rocksmith Plus if you've been playing it, what your thoughts are about it, negative or otherwise, negative, positive, whatever you think. I'd love to hear how you're feeling about it. And yeah, if there's anything else you guys want me to go over in another video, please let me know, because I feel like there's so much to talk about with this game, right? And I feel like I just kind of scratched the surface and maybe didn't go into enough detail on certain things that you might be curious about. So let me know what you're wondering about, and I'll maybe make more videos related to it, because you guys seem to like the Rocksmith Plus videos, and I enjoy making them for you. So let me know what you think. But I think that'll do it for now. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Love y'all a freaking bunch, and I hope we can see each other again soon. Have a lovely rest of your day or night, or whatever it is. Take care, everybody. I love you.